Okay. Greetings everyone. In this session, we will be discussing about demonstration of our concepts, what we have learned in the first module, especially about rectifier, filter, and regulation. Okay. So we'll start with our very basic part of our circuit, which is transformer. Okay. So I'll put a excuse and taking the call. Okay, sorry. So what we'll do is we'll take a transformer and try to analyze. This is our transformer. We can do the settings of primary and secondary turns. Say like primary is 1, maybe we can reduce it to some numbers, maybe 10. Here we have the rotary dial. If we rotate this, we can set the values. So we have a transformer of 10:1. Excuse. Sorry. So we have a AC supply 1 kilohertz. I will leave it 1 kilohertz because the waveforms will be faster, and we'll have a analysis pretty soon enough. Okay, maybe we'll get a practical value 230 volts. So this is our circuit for transformer. I'll just try to see whether I can zoom it. So this is our circuit of transformer with an AC supply. We'll use a resistor to see the output of this transformer. This is conversion from AC to AC. We'll require another ground. Put a ground here. Okay. So what is our expectation? Here amplitude is 230 volts, frequency 1 kilohertz. Output here should be 23 by 10, means 23 volts, same frequency. Okay, let's run it. Okay, the circuit is running. Let's observe the waveforms. This is our primary side. Here we can observe minimum is minus 230, maximum is plus 230. So we have our wave, input sine wave. Okay, let's analyze what is on the output of the transformer. The expectation is we should have a smaller AC wave, which is of 23 volts. We can separate these waves to see the values. For this wave, minus 23 plus 23. For above wave, minus 230 plus 230. If you want to see this 23 volt wave, I'll just hide the blue wave. So this is our plus 23, minus 23. Okay. I'll like to get a confirmation whether everything is good. Sachin?
Yes, sir.
Waves are visible?
Yes, sir, but they are very small, sir.
No, I mean, so this green wave, top side graph.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. This is just for seeing the circulation of electrons and what waves
Okay,
are
sir.
there. Okay, so let's continue. I'll pause this. We'll start with our half wave rectification. What is our half wave? It will be rectified by using a single diode. This is our diode. Rotate this. I'll keep it here. Now what is our expectation? Output should be half rectified wave. Let's run it. I'll stop seeing this wave because this is very large, 230. Scaling will be a problem. So we'll see these two waves. Let's see what is this wave before the diode. Before the diode, as expected, it is an AC, alternating signal from minus 23 to plus 23 with a frequency of 1 kilohertz. What should be this wave? This is our half rectified wave. Very nice. We are getting the output of our half wave rectified signal. I'll just hide this wave before the diode so that we can observe half rectified output. This input sine wave is rectified into a half rectified signal, DC. So this is how our half wave rectifier works. This is again maximum 23 volts. Some minor variations are there. This is because of not using an ideal capacitor. Changes will be there, but good enough. You can call it as 23 volts. It's about half wave rectifier. I'll just save this and discuss about capacitor. I don't remember exactly whether we had a discussion of charging and discharging of capacitors. Sachin,
Yes, sir.
did you have a discussion of charging and discharging using this type of switch?
Yes, sir. We had, sir.
One time, maybe we'll just try to
Yes, sir.
analyze. Okay. Also, time constant. We'll just add the capacitor. Those who want to see charging and discharging, you can refer the earlier demo video where we had the charging and discharging of capacitor. Okay, the second stage of our conversion from AC to DC is filtering. What we are going to use for filtering? A capacitor. This is our capacitor. Capacitor will be in parallel with the resistance. So this is our capacitor filter. What is our expected output? Expected output is, instead of positive and zeros, we'll have an output where the ripples are filtered. This we have seen in the theory session also. This part, positive. This part is for charging of capacitor. This part is for discharging of capacitor. When the supply wave to the capacitor starts to increase more than the charge it is already having, it will again charge, discharge. So this is how our capacitor is going to work. Just keep simulating. You can observe the circuit here. Capacitor charges and discharges. It charges and slowly discharges. Charge, discharge. Discharging slow, charging fast, because we have small time period of charging and discharging. As per our discussion, we can increase the capacitance because our ripple factor is inversely proportional to the capacitance. If we increase the capacitance, what is our expectation? Ripples should be reduced to a higher extent. So observe, let it get stable. So now its charging time is still lesser. I'm using reference with a sine wave because we cannot see the half-wave rectified rippled wave. We already have a connection here. So I'm taking reference of AC signal, charge, discharge. We have increased the capacitance. We can try to increase further, not an issue because we have a simulator, so it will not damage the circuit. We are observing the variation. Now again it is getting reduction in ripples. Let's go further. Let's see whether the ripples are reduced. Yes. Further. Yes. Let's take some value. Now the wave should become as flat as possible. See, it need not charge very much, very small charging, and it is flat. These are the two steps what we use in our conversion from AC to DC. AC to a constant flat DC, which is first to transform, rectify, filter. So this is how our rectification procedure goes on. I'll take a minute break. Let me see if you have any questions. If any doubts, you can speak up or put a question in the chat window also. I'm waiting for questions. Okay, no questions. So we'll go with seeing the Zener diode. What I will do is I'll take a new circuit. I'll just save this. We'll take a new circuit. We'll try to learn Zener diode by using a constant input signal. So that will help us in understanding Zener diode in a better way. Then we'll try to add it to our circuit. If time permits, we'll design our circuit completely, or else many applications are available where the circuit is ready. We can just use it. Means we have a very good community. Till then, we'll try to see how the Zener diode is going to work. Let's start with a voltage source. Input to a Zener diode will be DC voltage. We can assume that this voltage is output of half-wave rectifier with capacitor filter. Okay. We'll add a resistance, supply resistance here. We'll change the values later on. We'll require a Zener diode. Zener diode should be always reverse biased. Its specialty is being reverse biased. For collecting the output, maybe you can use a resistance. Maybe later on for beautification sake, we'll replace this resistor by LED. Okay. So this is our circuit. Let's make some changes. This will keep for 10 volts. Why 10 volts is our Zener diode breakdown is at 10 volts. The breakdown voltage of Zener diode is 10 volts. So what this circuit will be doing is it will be trying to keep the voltage constant at 10 volts. This is a very large resistance. We'll try to reduce it. Series resistance with a voltage source should be always small. So I'll use 100 ohm. This should be good enough. Let's simulate. Let's see the output here. Okay, we are getting a 9.09 volts. What I will do, I'll just reduce this standard value to see when I can get a some value near 10 volts. Be at 100 or reduce. I have not done the design part, so we do trials so that we can check when we are going to get the maximum possible voltage. Maybe I'll keep it at 5 kilovolts. So somewhere around 9.8, 9.86, good enough. So this is how the Zener diode is trying to keep a voltage constant at 9.8 volts. The observation what we have to make is, because our Zener diode is at 10 volts, if we try to change the voltage here, it will not make a substantial difference to the voltage. Observe that now the voltage is 18.7. Let's make it a round figure, 19 or 20. Okay, so here we can observe the difference. What we did is, instead of 10 volts supply, we have given a 20 volt supply. We did not make any changes to the circuit, but still the Zener diode is operating at 10 volts. This is how a Zener diode operates. Earlier it was 10, we had some 9.8 volts something. Now it's 20, but still it is at 10 volts. Let's test the limits. Let's go to 30 volts. Let's see whether our Zener diode helps. Let's keep a round figure. 30 volts. What is the output? 10.3. Means the diode is trying to keep the voltage constant. How? Because of its property of taking large amounts of current in its breakdown voltage. When it is in breakdown, it will try to keep the voltage constant. That constant voltage will be taken up by the load. Even though we are giving 30 volts, we are getting a 10 volts. Okay. I'll take a break here. This is very important concept and little complicated enough. Let me know if you have any doubts. Sachin?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts?
No, sir.
Anyone else? You can put a question in the WhatsApp group or in the meeting chat window also. Okay. Yes, good. No doubts. What we'll do, we'll replace this, maybe just for fun. We'll replace this by a diode, glowing LED. The direction will be in this way because LED will be operating in forward bias. What we are doing is, instead of a resistance, we are taking LED. This will require very less voltage. If you see its parameter, it operates at 2 volts. So 10 volts it will burn out. But just for learning purpose, let's observe. The diode is burning out. Means we cannot expect the diode to run at 10 volts. It is burning out. Means the circuit is damaged. What we'll do is, we'll try to reduce the Zener breakdown voltage. Instead of 10, let's go with a smaller value. We'll observe when the diode is going to glow. Somewhere around 3 volts, it should start to glow. Still damaged, still damaged, still damaged. Still damaged. Okay, so somewhere around 1.73, the diode is going to glow. This is a very, very large voltage. The diode requires 1.74 volts. Let me make this a whole number. We can increase the capacity of the diode also, just for observation purpose. Instead of 2, see what is the rating at which it will not burn out. Okay, 2.23. Again, let's make it a whole number, maybe 3. So 3 volts is still not on. Let's boost the voltage. Like I said, I have not done the mathematical design. So I'm just going with the trial and error method. Exactly at 2.3, it is at its maximum low. So we'll stop it here. Okay. So what we can observe is, though we are trying to give 30 volts, the diode is going to limit the voltage at 2 volts. Why? Because our Zener diode is breaking at 2 volts, reverse bias voltage of 2 volts. It is breaking down and taking all the maximum current. Maximum current is here, whereas the diode will get its required voltage for getting on, which is 2.3, and a small amount of current, 18 milliampere, 258. How Zener diode will help is, instead of 30 volts, we can keep reducing. Like we know, whatever might be the reduction, we should not be going lesser than 2 volts. Still the circuit is not damaged, will not have a problem. Still the output is near to 2 volts. Our main concentration should be on observing that this voltage, breakdown voltage for the Zener diode, should be lesser than the supply voltage, so that our circuit will get 2 volts all the time. I'll stop here, maybe because of time constraint. Instead of designing a rectifier with Zener diode, I'll just copy from the community, rectifier with Zener. So this. Sorry. What is this circuit? This is our bridge rectifier. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 diodes, all looking from left to right. Positives on the left side, negatives on the right side. We don't have a space here to put the resistance, capacitance, and Zener diode, so we have taken out the circuit. Seems good enough. Let's see what is the output here. Let's hide this.
Sir, please raise your voice, sir.
Okay. So what we have is, we'll see that because of this Zener diode, our output is trying to be constant at 15 volts. A small variation, 0.2 volts is there, 15 volts, 15.2 volts, which is admissible. Still, it is a flat wave compared to our very large AC. This is our very large AC of 40 volts, positive 40, negative 40. We'll be seeing that the output is flat at 15 volts. I hide this blue wave. What we'll try to do is, we'll try to see if we can get another output voltage by just varying this. We have a wave, output wave from 40 volts, 2:1, 20 volts, but we are asking for 15 volts. Okay. One last time, we are applying 40 volts AC. This small AC is 20 volts. Small AC is 20 volts, but we are asking for an output voltage of 15 volts. So the values what we can put for this Zener diode is anything about 20, near to 20. So let's see how much variation we can do. Yes, 20 also it is providing. Let's see exact value. It is trying to get stable. Because it is of 50 hertz, it may take time to get stable. What we are expecting is, the Zener diode should give us a voltage near to 20 volts. I can increase the frequency, but let's wait for it to stabilize. Again, let's not get confused with the too many concepts. We are checking whether the diode is capable to provide a voltage near to 20. If it is not capable, then also it is okay. Why? Because our supply is of 20 volts. This can get a value only near to 20 volts. If more than that, it will start clipping. Okay, so what we have is, if we try for 20 volts, it is giving a maximum of 17.4 volts. Admissible, not a problem. We have the practical components here. We'll try to decrease and see. Let's ask for 10 volts. This should be perfectly available. What we are asking for the circuit to do, we have a supply here of 20 volts, but we are asking it to provide 10 volts. So we are getting a voltage of 10.1 to 10.6. The ripples are there, but because it is a practical circuit, these many ripples are admissible compared to the high wave here. When we analyze with a 20 volt signal, this is flat enough. Okay? If we ask for a 5 volts, that should be also provided. We'll just go with one last request for the circuit. Instead of 10 volts, we'll ask for 5 volts. Let it stabilize. Because frequency is less, it will take some time. Once it stabilizes, we'll ask it to provide us with a 5 volts output. Major thing what we should observe is, we are not making any changes here. Only we are changing the Zener diode. Zener diode will have a breakdown voltage fix. We'll try to utilize that factor and get our flat DC. Okay, seems like now it is stable. It has reached 10 volts. We'll still wait for it to stabilize. We'll have a confirmation that it is stable. Seems good enough. Our wave is stable at 9.9 to 10 volts, which is a very good value. Not many ripples are there. Let's ask the circuit to provide us with a 5 volt signal. What should be done? We have to use a Zener diode with a breakdown of 5 volts, so that we'll have 5 volts at the output. Let's wait for it to stabilize. Yes, very good enough. We have a wave at 4.94 till 5.37, very much near to 5 volts. So I'll stop here. We'll save this circuit. Done. Okay. I'll spare a minute time. If any doubts are there regarding the circuit, let me know. Any doubts in the WhatsApp? No. Chat window. Any doubts? I'll stop the recording. Thank you.